This is what the show is now. It's just going to be 10 minutes of me doing this. It's Eddie. It is the Wednesday, the 18th of March. Quarantine. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube. I think there might have been a ban or something. Anyway, there's a certain disease going around that has led to the quarantine across Milwaukee. A quarantine across Milwaukee. And so I'm shooting a Worst Whiskey Watch today alone. That's going out on Thursday, which I don't think we've ever done. No old man. Yeah. I'm deathly afraid of getting my ma sick. She's quite asthmatic, as is my little sister. And I am not going to be the one to give them that issue. So, I'm over here. The old man's over there. He said he was going to shoot some kind of content for this Worst Whiskey Watch. I have not seen hide nor hair of it. So, Pop, if you're doing that, I'm sure we'll get that in. But I'm doing two whiskeys today because this is our and we got to catch up. Luckily, at my work, we just put a bunch of these on sale. A bunch of different whiskeys, either half off or $7.99 for a slew of bottom shelf options. So we're going to do these two today. One is Kentucky Choice Straight Bourbon Whiskey, which I cannot find anything about. All I know is it's straight bourbon whiskey, 4 years old. Hey, this is future Eddie. Past Eddie said this is 4 years old without an age statement. He's a liar. This is actually 36 months old, so 3 years. It does have an age statement. They hid it up here on the top of the label, so right under the government warning, tiny letters, but they did put it on the bottle, so whatever. Because it doesn't have an age statement. Distilled in Kentucky, bottled in St. Louis, and charcoal filtered. 40% alcohol. I don't know. This one, though, is Sunnybrook, and this one is actually the more interesting of the two, at least historically. Well, it's a blended whiskey, so it's probably going to taste like crap. A blended American whiskey. 80% neutral grain spirits. 20% straight bourbon. So, yeah, Sunnybrook is actually the story of the rise and fall of a great American distilling family. And that would be the Rosenfield family. There were the Rosenfield brothers. They created the Sunnybrook and Willow Creek distilleries. At first, they were sourcing from other Louisville distilleries. But then they realized, hey, why don't we make our own? So the Rosenfields, at one time, they claimed to be the biggest distillers in America. In 1904, they had a warehouse capacity of 10 million gallons. They were distilling 20,000 gallons every day. That's nothing to shake a stick at. Unfortunately, one of the brothers, Lewis, passed away just before Prohibition. The distillery got sold to National Distilling Company. They kept the brand, they kept it going until like 1975 when they tore down the original distillery. And then Jim Beam picked it up. So Sunnybrook today is a bottom shelf, cheapo, really nothing kind of brand put out by Jim Beam. Which is sad because at one time, this was a big deal. Won gold at the St. Louis World's Fair. So what are you going to do? All right, let's check these out real quick. Oh, this Sunnybrook is actually not bad smelling. Yeah, just very light and sweet. Caramel, candy corn. Yeah, that's really it. It's one of those noses that's not offensive. It's not terrible. That's not awful. It's just not a lot to it. Little fruity something. I don't know, appley something or other. Yeah, Mostly just a light sweetness. It's very much a thinned out bourbon. A decent blended whiskey, for sure. But a thinned out bourbon. A little bit of red apple, caramel, candy corn. That's it. Nothing to write home about on this one. But let's see about this mystery brand. If anyone knows more about Kentucky Choice, please tell me more. Because, I mean, straight bourbon whiskey, at least no neutral grain spirits in this fella. I will say this is much more robust than Sunnybrook. There's more flavor there. It's not that different, though. I mean, it kind of hits your standard bourbon notes. Just vague sweetness, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of vanilla, not all that much going on. Yeah, smells fine, though. Smells absolutely fine. There's a little bite there, kind of a sour tang, but yeah, it's not as antiseptic as a lot of cheapo brands are, so that's nice. Still sweet, still brown sugary, charred wood, blah blah blah. Yeah, nothing to write home about on this one either. It's very drinkable. I've got both of these for $8. For, what is this, a liter and a fifth, I think? This one might be a liter too, I'm not even sure. Yeah, so $8 for a liter of each. But yeah, that's Sunnybrook, that's Kentucky Choice. Yeah. The old man, you missed out on a not bad worst whiskey watch. This one is much tamer than a lot of the stuff we usually drink. So, yeah, that's too bad for you. We'll have to get something really, really bad for when this quarantine's over and we can do something absolutely awful for your return episode. But until then, you guys make sure to stay rotten. There we go.